restless, no longer on umpiring duties at this time, so he can turn up and chill, take in the cricket, take in whatever else he wants.
How good was he? He was outstanding as an umpire. Best in the world for a long, long time.
Yeah, you wouldn't think, right? Like you spend all your night out there on the field, having to come to the game, and then the time you go off and you find yourself back here. It's the bug, I tell you. It bites and never lets go.
He's doing a little bit of training as well, helping out with some of the umpires in South Africa, which is great. Putting them on the right road and providing them assistance.
Lovely. Full and driven again. This time it's the right-handed Markram. 4 runs. A good start for South Africa. Yeah, he has this wonderful ability to compose himself. Just look how tall he gets on top of the bounce. Yeah, I tell you what, there's nothing better than watching this young man drive with a cricket ball. Excellent position. Not looking to overhit it.
And going again at the right tempo, which we saw and talked about a lot at Supersport Park.
That's good. Oh, that's very good. 2 in a row from Markram.
When Aidan Markram's driving straight down the ground, you know that he's playing really well. It's a shot that he doesn't play a lot of. Loves the cover drive. We saw so many of those at Supersport Park in that first test match. So that is just an exquisite drive. Straight down the ground for 4.
Again, Hamza just looking for a bit of swing. Overbeats him. The form that Markram is in, he's not going to miss out. Back-to-back boundaries. Yeah. 27 without loss.
Beautiful driving so far by the opening pair of Aidan Markram and Rickleton, who's opening in test matches for the first time. He's also picked up an injury, so it's Rickleton to open, and he's on strike now. Pakistan have started with Abbas and Mir Hamza, who's come into the side for Pakistan. I've seen him sitting out today, given a rest. Abbas has been excellent, as you expect. He was so good in Centurion, brought so much control to his bowling lineup. Mir Hamza himself has got a lot of county experience. Stood with Morgan earlier this year. Also has played previously with Warwickshire and Sussex, so he's got some good experience bowling out in England. Runs for Rickleton. Push forward and a healthy outside half of the bat. Oh dear. Oh no. He's gone down. He's hurt himself pretty. Hopefully he's going to be okay, but he looks like he's in some serious pain. And straight away they're calling for the physio to come and have a look. I think it had something to do with the way he possibly turned and twisted. And that does not look good.
Simon, I think he seems to have twisted his knee, I think, but jarred it, but he seems to be in crippling pain.
I think it's the ankle actually, Romans. I think when he decided to stop giving up the chase, he was trying to set himself to be able to grab the ball, and his ankle just kind of turned over, and I'm fearing the worst here.
don't react like that unless it's immensely sore and you've done some damage. Obviously, don't worry too much about where the ball's going. Just worry about the follow-up, Simon. And it's this moment here. You just see, and all the pressure has gone onto his back heel and onto his ankle. And he's just said, forget about the ball. I've done some damage here. And this is a massive moment in this test match because he is a quality player. He's been the one in unbelievable form, and they're also going to be asking him to try and bowl some overs of spin. But that is a real concern. We hope it's not as bad as it looks, but I'm immensely worried about the condition of that ankle now.
I mean, you can't really trust the boundary. It's still early, and so playing it away from home, so you really don't know how much pressure you need to put. Some weight area at the boundary rope. I'm not too sure, but it's the way he fell. It seems to be in a lot of play. The other thing is that if he's not fit to take the field and not bat for Pakistan, this pitch seems to be tailor-made for his kind of batting, driving through the line and playing a long innings.
Worrying signs for Pakistan, that is for sure. Pakistan physio Cliff Deacon will have some work to do. We'll be hoping he can make some a bit of magic, I think, because it is huge for Pakistan, and trying to see if they can come up with a level series. As you said, straight away it looked like he was in play, and it is certainly a concern from Pakistan's point of view. There's a lengthy delay as well. Sure, also from Pakistan's point of view, they just want to take a little breather to reset and just get back into this. It can be a bit unsettling. Should be also onto the field substitute for now.
Coming back to the surface, it's a lovely batting surface where you can play through the line. We've seen some great drives being played by Markram and Brickleton.
Lovely from us.
Coming back after a torrid pitch, I mean, that really was a steep tester for all the batsmen from both sides, the Joburg pitch. I think here you find comfort, and I think that'll help you to then get cracking on the surface, because you were able, I'm talking of Markram, who's able to really cope well on a difficult pitch, and this should be absolutely a walk in the park for him.
All right. Yeah, I think this is a much better test surface. Of that, you can already work it out. I mean, the fact that they've been able to push through the line, the ball hasn't deviated as much as it should. With a new ball, you'd expect a little bit. There's been no steep bounce already. And it might be one of those test matches where you grind out 450 plays 500 along those lines. But I'd much rather see a pitch like this, where the batters, if they have got the skill, they can get in and dominate. And bowling-wise, you have to have proper skills to be able to find edges. It's not just a case of rocking up, landing it somewhere near, and the ball will do enough for you to be able to knock people over. So I'm liking the look of it already.
Not too sure if Vernon said it on air, but he did say, okay, looking at the surface. Oh, this is going to day 6, he said.
Give them good preparation for the World Test Championship. 6-day final.
The other thing, the batsman must not lose concentration, because on a surface like this, you're trusting it completely. So you try to get behind the line and let your faculties take over, your natural instincts take over. Still got to be careful around that off-swing channel.
3 runs coming off that over. It's 30 without loss. Real concern there for Ayub. I imagine he might need some scans even, possibly. Sam Ayub getting helped off the field. So early on in this test match. It's a bright star, that is for sure, for Pakistan. And how brilliant has he been on this whole tour? Just with the bat, with the ball as well. We wish him the best. Hope that be a little bit of work done. Hopefully bring him back on the field. Doesn't look good to what we've seen from our pictures. Now, made a change. Shazad takes the ball.
Yeah, this makes sense to me. I wasn't sure what they were on about with Hamza. We talked about all the experience he's got around the world, but no experience on this tour so far, no experience of really bowling against South Africans. And Shazad, I thought was brilliant. I mean, he's at Supersport Park. I thought he was the pick of the bowlers with the new ball in particular, so no surprise that they've turned to him sooner rather than later.
From leadership point of view, I think you've got to make use of the confidence that a certain players gain from a performance. He was absolutely outstanding with the new ball, so could have been used up front easily. A lot of sample size for Pakistan to realize how crucial he can be with the new ball there. He goes wider of the crease, then from that angle gets the ball to move away. It's a massive angle. He's different to the other left arms or the right arms.
Confirmation of the surface. You can see if you land on the good length, you'll be effective. If you over pitch, it's one of those pitches where you can hit through the line and score. So I don't think they have done that really well. He managed to pick up 5 fours.
Even if he doesn't move the ball a lot, I think from that angle, that's such a testing line. All he has to do is be a little consistent around that corridor.
Yeah, the other thing I think Pakistan might regret is not playing an out-and-out spinner. I know they've got people who go Ayub, although Ayub's now gone off, who can maybe bowl with a spin and be almost part-time spinners. But I think as we look at the surface now, you would expect someone like a Keshav Maharaj to play more than a vital part for South Africa.
Runs of side, this time behind the square. So a lot on the drive, this time around, push just behind square.
This pitch will allow the batters to have a good look in and see the ball more prominently. It's not an express pitch. It's not a devious pitch where the ball is jumping up from that length or moving sideways. It allows you to settle in, watch it early, the extension of the arms into that deep third hole.
Coming around the wicket. He came around the wicket to Rickleton in Centurion as well and got him twice. First of all caught by the keeper, lovely catch it was by Rizwan, and then LBW. Continuing around the wicket, got one to look away, that one and back into the left-hander. It had to be sent for review. The answer Pakistan was looking for came their way, so spoke about possibly taking the new ball. Rickleton opening the batter, you might have thought also from that they would have gone straight to him as well. And there's a little inch, and this time around it dropped short. 34 without loss.
This is probably one of the best.
It's India, South Africa, Australia.
It's the best teams in the world.
A battle of heavyweights. Biggest contest in all of sport.
It was overcast this morning, but Now got a lot of blue sky. It's warm. It's breeze across the ground as well. He'll be there all day. He'll ask that question all day.
He just looks in better rhythm, doesn't he, Ramis, compared to what we saw from him at Supersport Park. It's interesting, his interview, he said he felt like he was making his debut all over again, but then in the second innings he really settled into a good rhythm and bowled superbly. Definitely more zip in that second innings than he did in the first. Is kind of lacking a little bit of nip off the pitch and pace through the air, but he's still operating around 125, but it just seems like it's better rhythm. No run.
To beat Markram is no mean achievement. Markram has played him the best. Statistically, we know that he's been the best player against Abbas. He knows what he's facing. A challenge, a good leg challenge, and there or thereabouts.
Really good. He'd be disappointed didn't get the three-figure score on the first innings. Got an absolute unplayable delivery second time around at 37, where he played right down the perfect line, but the ball went underneath his bat. That's what you sometimes get in the last innings, particularly at Supersport Park. All right.
Hold on. By showing his consistency as you expect, and I've seen it over the years from the county circuit. Brilliant for Hampshire. The Boston, his coach there, Graham Welsh, said he's one of the best bowlers he's ever seen, and probably one of the best blokes he's ever seen as well. So he was surprised that he hadn't been part of the side.
Medium pacers like leg spinners can be at times tough for captains because you've got to have a certain kind of temperament to use them. With leg spinners, you've got to be just a little bit more open about the fact that he's going to get you wickets, but he'll also go for runs. Same with the medium pacer. When to use the medium pacer? On what conditions? Should be a permanent fixture of Pakistan bowling attack, or should he be used on certain conditions? I think that's the query.
Cushion it. Right hands. Markram. He'll get 4. Abbas thinks it's lucky. It's going to get with that loss.
Supersport.
That's big enough.
A 6 to Sky. Mr. 260 in full flow.
What a shot. That is just power.
8 sixes in this century. Flying away. Tilak's Burma.
That's out of the ground.
Emphatic India.
India versus England, first T20I, 22nd January, only on Star Sports Network.
On 16, Rickleton on 22. Going at a decent pace as well. 2 4s that he's hit so far.
That bat is making an awfully good sound. Smacking the ball in the middle of the blade. Lovely conditions. Sun is out. Nice breeze. It's not hot.
Probably you mentioned you thought I should only played sort of more away from home. He's only played 3 tests at home. He hasn't played much at home. No hands to it. Again, looking to score 2 wickets as Wimbledon.
I think in Pakistan conditions, your skills have to be really probably high speed, operating full of length, trying to really make that new ball talk, and then have a wonderful ability to bowl reverse swing at the back end. See some of the fastest surfaces in the world. Romies, you'll attest to that over the years. We always felt when we toured that was the best place to bat. The guys were lining up. A couple of decent bowlers to face, but besides that, it was really good from a surface perspective. That's why I think we battle about there, but places like England, South Africa, New Zealand, that's where we probably thrive.
Remember, he had a great series against Australia in UAE. Those were absolutely dead conditions, but somehow the ball jumped on day 3, day 4 because there were square turners. So there is an outside chance for somebody like him on a square turner on day 3, day 4 when the pitch gets a bit uneasy, riskless for the batters to then unleash that late bowling. Then again, it depends on the captain whether you want to use a medium pacer or an out-and-out fast bowler that can reverse and do something different.
He doesn't play international cricket for you guys. I think the Titans at Supersport Park might decide to sign him as an overseas pro.
Somebody's loss is somebody's gain.
It's bigger than now. But it's Test match. Enjoy that surface. Striked as well.
Again, back to Simon Hill and his injury. If he doesn't manage to get himself fit to play out, one of those guys that want to commit his ground pushing for the ability to have substitutes. I think it's very sad for a test match. In the first 45 minutes of a test match, he hasn't really even contributed. Might do some damage, and if that ankle's ligament is torn or something along those lines, it's silly that I feel that a player can't be involved for 5 days. I think a normal substitution should be allowed. No run. They've got the concussion subs, but I think we need to push for normal subs at some stage. What do you want with Douglas?
I think there was something.
Yes! Will Liverpool dominate their bitter rivals once again in the sun-matched rivalry? Or will Coach Amarim script Manchester United's revenge? Watch Premier League. Liverpool versus Manchester United, 5th January, live. Enjoy the action in Bengali and Malayalam on Star Sports 3 with Blue Button option.
Nice to be at the start of a new year, that is for sure. So many come into this beautiful city. Beautiful views, so much to do. It stays light for long periods as well. Lots to do. How this pair now has gone bowling together. You had 3 overs from. Here comes out. What's your thoughts, Ramiz, on how this pair has gone bowling in partnership?
Looks a little bit more potent, but you've got to make sure that you are in for a hard grind. I think the initial sort of impression that the pitch gives you is that it's the batting surface and you've got to really pull your heart out to get something out of it.
Surprised then at the toss that Shang said he would bowl first.
I mean, I said that in the pre-show as well, that some of the subcontinent teams like to bowl first. Here in subcontinent, yes, my man, absolutely. He's a real rock star. Better dressed than us. Wow,
I don't know. I think
putting us to shame.
Bobby might be
Somebody says
rivaling
that's
him
not
today.
difficult.
Nice timing. Trying to overhit it. Nice and simple, bit of footwork. Be a little bit worried that, I think, when you see that after the injury to Ayub. You want to be careful out in the field, keeping the physio busy.
I got to be very careful how you feel the ball. Beautifully played. Good wrist work through square leg.
Also, from a pitch perspective, you think of it, Super Sport Park. Alderman was lifting up, and Alderman was trying to get close to the gloves, and we were having balls nip high on the far pad. It's a nice position for the batters to be in, where they can just trust that the bounce is going to be regular and come through. They can work that away.
Coming back to your query, Natalie, I think some of the subcontinent teams do like to bowl first, irrespective of the conditions, because the first was they feel that South Africa can dealt a severe blow, whether it's a batting surface or not. So that's the mindset. And he was talking about that subcontinent mindset, I think.
You talk about this surface and how it's played. I don't know if you gentlemen had a chance to watch the first day of the Sydney Test, because that looks a tough one to bat on. There was certainly bounce on that surface. That's fallen short again. It's the second time it's gone short of the slip.
Yeah, that's one ball again, and as you say, Natalie, the second time it's ball short. It's a kind of surface where you do have to bend your back, though. You really have to put as much as you can into each delivery to get these kind of edges to carry. So Corden will be trying to stand as close as they possibly can. Both batters have got away with one now. That's ideally what you want to the test surface, if you do find the edge for it to carry, because the batter has made the mistake. And you feel as a bowler, if you've had the skill to find that outside edge, that you should be rewarded. So they'll be a little bit disappointed. I'm afraid to say, Rami, the intel was wrong for the Pakistan lineup. If they wanted to bowl first on this one, I don't think they got that right. You obviously investigate. It's just fallen off, which is what a bus just have to halt his run up. But you speak to people, you look at stats, you trying to get a feeling for it. And as soon as you walked out there today, there was no doubt there was less grass on that pitch, and it wasn't going to be a bowl first surface. So I think if they'd lost or won the toss and decided to bowl, then they might have been regretted at this stage.
A lot of time to announce the playing 11. I think they're just not sure about the surface, I think.
But good look at it yeah, before the game, 24 without loss.
Which IDFC First Bank India Women versus Ireland Women ODI Series starts 10th January live on GS Cinema and Sports CT.
24 is on the board for South Africa. Well, the toss said they're happy to have a bat first. They're going at a good rate. Pause. Through from Markram. A lot of boundary scored in Centurion as well.
They haven't had a single shot ball, I think, so far in 11 overs. I don't think think so. I think that's a link that can be experimented if the sideways movement is limited. You can maybe just shorter the length.
Yeah, we saw that pitch map. There was nothing. So I wouldn't be surprised if someone does try one at some stage. Maybe even give yourself a little bit of protection back. Sometimes just pushing square leg back will make the batter think that it's on its way and you can carry on with your normal length. I definitely think the person to try would probably be Kurum Shazad. He might be the one quick enough.
It's behind square on the offside. He's been peppering that area recently. Early in his innings, it was about drives in front of square. Now he's finding runs behind square.
Yeah, solid shot. Just the extension of the arms and middling it beautifully through point. Yeah, front foot slice, getting it past point.
It was already out with an injury. And we weren't sure what would have happened if he hadn't been injured, whether Rickleton would have held his place in the starting lineup, because Bill Mulder's coming at number 3 and there's talk that they want him to bat in that position. But anyway, Rickleton will be happy that he's playing now that he's got himself to 30. Make that 36.
Little milestone for these two as well as they bring up their 50. First time that they've brought up 50 together.
A lot of runs at least in that area. Pakistan need to plug that gap maybe. It's been smooth going for South Africa. 50 no time. Closing the face on that one and running it down past that point fielder. Third area was vacant. Covering the stumps, almost covering the entire set of stumps. So that allows him to maybe fetch the ball from off to the wicket.
A run. Spoke about the short ball. It was the short ball that got Markram in the first innings at Centurion, and it was Kurum as well. It was the big side, but it was the surprise more than anything else. I think that seemed to get Markram, because again they hadn't used the short ball much at the time. To be reason of doing, as you said, they haven't really used it today either. Seeing a little change as well. As you see the fielder moving out towards square leg boundary. It looks just in front of square. A little change there for Pakistan. Is this the change you're asking for, Amiz? Outside the off stump, left alone. No, Amiz, it wasn't. 52 without lost, it is. And at this stage, we're going to enjoy a little drinks break.
Yes! Will Liverpool dominate their bitter rivals once again in this unmatched rivalry? Or will Coach Amarim script Manchester United's revenge? Watch Premier League. Liverpool versus Manchester United, 5th January, live. Enjoy the action in Bengali and Malayalam on Star Sports 3 with Blue Button option.
India and South Africa in the 90s, always a super hitter, sir. Every single fast bowler in my colony wanted some of this. And if you manage to pull off a stunning catch pakada re, Jonty, all of India showered their love on these guys.
True story.
But as true fans, we want to watch cricket's future heroes before everyone else. So I'm off to South Africa to see tomorrow's T20 stars in the making. A fiery new season of the SA20 begins Jan 9.
Live on Disney Plus Hotstar. The action heads down under. The new FIH season is here. Hockey's finest are ready to compete, featuring the greatest players from around the globe. Don't miss the action. Watch the FIH Pro League live on Jio Cinema and Sports 18.3. Watch IDFC First Bank India versus Al Women ODM Series. Starts 10th January, live on GS Cinema and Sports CT.
No team you can take lightly. We're in the Mother City. It is a wonderful time of the year to be here, not just for the sights and sounds of Cape Town, but the opportunity to come out to Newlands Cricket Stadium for the New Year's Test. Beautiful weather. For opportunity to take the water activities, go on a good wine trip. But mostly, when it comes to New Year's, this is the place to be. All public seats sold out for day one. The ticket sales going really well for tomorrow. Test cricket on a major high after South Africa advanced to the World Test Championship final, courtesy a sensational 2-wicket win in Centurion. Winning the toss of batting first here. Solid start between Markram and Rickleton.
Yeah, and we've got an absolute alpha for surface here. Both these batsmen up a couple of rounds to get the innings going. Also brings up the half-century partnership for South Africa.
9 boundaries in this opening stand of 52. Of course, Tony de Zorzi at the top of the order. Jan Mulder, 3 changes to this team. Slotted to come in at 3. Of course, young Kwenama Parker, the youngest Test debutant for South Africa. A couple of changes for the South African team. 1-0 up in the series. Opportunity to win 2-0 and really keep the momentum going. Yep, a couple more waiting for matric results alongside Kwenama Parker.
All right. Go on then, Palmer. Were you nervous for that?
Won't answer that. Yeah, high school matriculate, Kwenama Parker. And 4 boys who attend the same school. Now men, of course, playing in the South African side. So because they're old boys, their school very proud of them. Kwenama Parker, Lisa Rabada, Ryan Rickleton, who's out there, and Mulder. All attended students college. Chitter chatter amongst the boys when they get back. And the hope that they'll all be out there at Lord's as well, and the chitter chatter will continue once more.
Kahisa Rabada was talking about his innings of 31, and he says, it's an innings I will remember for the rest of my life. So he should. One of the most epic finishes of the Test match on South African soil. The whole world was watching. And the celebration at the end, this wonderful, iconic picture of Rabada and Janssen throwing their arms up in the air. Wonderful. All right.
What was quite incredible at the end there is how each of them did just about exactly the same thing at either end. You look at them here, go. They're not looking at each other, but look at them do exactly the same thing. And they're swinging those bats, swinging their arms as hard as they can, cannot contain themselves. Just unbridled joy and a sense of relief from absolutely all.
People were recounting how it could have gone. But then you go back to the Janssen and Rabada combo, it's the same combo that took South Africa into the T20 World Cup final. So they're making quite a habit of this. But 4 wickets down to 8 wickets down, and 32 still needed. The drama and tension at Centurion was absolutely unmatched. Oh! End to be over. 13 gone, 53 without loss. Well,
It's India, South Africa, England, Australia. It's the best teams in the world. A battle of heavyweights. Biggest contest in all of sport.
Yeah, I think just given where South Africa is as a test team, I almost guarantee you I'd paid money for them to play one of those top teams that you mentioned, Kes. Because I can tell you what, this is a team that have come on leaps and bounds. They've won 6 test matches on the bounce. Not the easiest conditions either. Right. Beats the West Indies. Conditions challenging. They've overcome that adversity. They've gone to Bangladesh, where there was a lot of question marks being raised. They've overcome that adversity. Well, in Sri Lanka at home, here they find themselves in the World Test Championship. They there. The rest of the teams, they still have a job to do.
the Bangladesh series win was really impressive. First series win in a decade. So you have a look at the schedule. You play the hand you're given, and that's what South Africa did. Go back to New Zealand in February last year. There were no thoughts of South Africa trying to vie for a place in the final. But the way they've gone about their work with a team that has a lot of youngsters, some have made their debut in the last year. So to get to where they have, they should be already proud of what they've achieved. Shukri Conrad has stood up proud for his team. Fighting!
Yeah, I think you have to give a lot of credit to that South African management. He's allowed a young group of players to blossom, to play their way. Made mention in the press conference the other day, KG Rabada talking about playing with his mates and would give it his absolute all. Players like Rabada, Stubbs, the white ball forwards that will be calling names, but for them to turn their back on that and make themselves